But moving on to what else is happening in the United States, because First Lady Jill Biden has spoken out against former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi over her fractured relationship because President Joe Biden was pushed out of the race during the election. Now, Jill Biden told the Washington Post, "We were friends for 50 years and it was disappointing." Look, I've got no sympathy for Jill Biden because someone should have told Joe Biden to go, and it really should have been Jill. She was the person that was closest to Joe Biden, and it took so long. And then we had celebrities coming out. We had George Clooney, and then we had Nancy Pelosi finally publicly saying he's got to go.
No, I agree with you 100%. And I'm wondering why Dr. Jill Biden is so upset about this because, she wore the red on election day and obviously she didn't want Kamala to win. But if she really loved her husband, she should have been the one that had him step down. You're exactly right. Like if she really cared about him, she wouldn't have tried to put him through the torture that it is running for president in the United States and the grueling schedule. It's not easy. It's hard for a young person to do it, much less an 81-year-old man that has, cognitive issues. So, yeah, I think the onus is on her to protect her husband. But she does not feel that way. She feels like everybody in Washington, D.C. backstabbed her husband. And I don't know if that can ever be fixed. And I think it probably comes down to an ego thing because really and truly, they did the right thing. Joe Biden should have stepped down, but they should have had an election and not just put Kamala Harris as the nominee, considering nobody voted for her.
Yeah, I think it was definitely an ego thing. I think Jill Biden did not want to give up that title. Look, Donald Trump is going to be sworn in just 5 days' time. And we know the Village People, known for their hit YMCA, which was a Trump favourite at Trump rallies, have announced that they'll be performing at events tied to next week's inauguration. So we're going to be seeing people busting out their best Trump dances.
Well, for sure. But you know what I just saw? I just saw on Twitter that when Joe Biden won in 2020, that over 280 bars in D.C. applied for permits to stay open late. And this year, for the Trump inauguration, only 33 bars. And then this is a place in Washington, D.C. where you realize that voted 93% for Joe Biden. So it's going to be wild. It's going to be some of the biggest parties ever, but it's going to be in a very blue area. I thought that was a very unique stat when I read that today.
Well, hopefully the people who are attending can make up for all those that don't want to celebrate, because it's going to be a great occasion. I'm looking forward to watching it. What do you make about Michelle Obama? She's previously accused Donald Trump of endangering her family's safety with his rhetoric, and now she's claiming that she's not going to be attending the inauguration. Her husband, Barack Obama, will be going. Why doesn't she want to go?
I don't know. And then she also did not want to see President Trump at Jimmy Carter's funeral. I don't understand why she is so afraid, because everybody also saw the clips where Barack and Donald Trump were talking and they were being friendly and laughing. So I really don't understand why she's trying to run away from Donald Trump like he's the big bad boogeyman. And she tries to play like she's a victim, like Donald Trump would ever want anything to happen to her family. That's just so not the case when it comes to Donald Trump. And if anybody wants somebody to get hurt, it's those people that cheered on the shooter when Donald Trump was almost assassinated. So when it comes to Michelle Obama, she's running away from something that eventually she's going to have to engage with. And I think that she should just be a first lady, an ex-first lady, and have some decorum and some respect. And even though she doesn't like it, that's just part of the responsibility that she has for being such an influential person. Sometimes you just have to put on a good face and pretend like you like it. But her running away from Trump, it shows that she's kind of cowardly, in my opinion.
I agree. She's happy to lecture people and say, when they go low, you go high. But actually, when push comes to shove, she just can't even attend the inauguration.